And I have to say, I thought about it before I was elected, what I might do if this bill came up while I was in office. And I thought to myself, well, I'd probably vote for it because, you know, people are sick and they really need it. And who am I to stand in the way of someone's ability to have relief? I just want to say, though, for the record, I have not made a decision yet. I'm going back and forth, and I'm really conflicted about this whole issue. When Representative Becker spoke earlier, it really had a serious impact on my thought process about this when he talked about violating the Constitution and our taking an oath to defend the Constitution. So that does concern me. But on the other hand, I wonder about states' rights and our ability to have our own set of rights. But if they're in direct conflict with the federal law, that's where it gets confusing. Some may say, well, you know, the federal government had some pretty silly laws if we look at them now. I mean, we didn't allow African Americans to vote. We didn't allow interracial marriages. It was actually against the law, federally. So maybe not all federal laws are really the right thing. But again, in the letter from the Justice Department, it clearly says that they will seize people's property. They will arrest individuals who grow or use marijuana, regardless of what the state of Connecticut's law is on medical marijuana. So what do? Do we pass the law and say, well, we want people to have the opportunity to use medical marijuana when they're sick? And in Connecticut, we say, yes, you can use medical marijuana, and we're going to allow our Department of Consumer Protection to be engaged in an activity that could very well cause them to break federal law. And we can also put people in jeopardy of being arrested. So that's where I'm really confused about what we should do here, or what we can do. And I do have a question for the proponent of the bill.
Please proceed, Madam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you, Mr. Speaker. In the last page of the letter from the U.S. Attorney, he does, and like I just mentioned earlier, he does say very clearly that federal money laundering and related statutes that prohibit financial activity involving the movement of drug proceeds may likewise be utilized. The government may also pursue civil injunctions in the forfeiture of drug proceeds, property traceable to such proceeds, and property used to facilitate drug violations. Through you, Mr. Speaker, to the proponent of the bill, what are your thoughts about what the impact is, or what the U.S. Attorney has written in regards to this law? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And through you, the U.S. Attorney does state out their powers under federal law, and that's what are recited here, and they're not relinquishing any of those powers. It's similar to what was said back in June when the Deputy Attorney General submitted correspondence to a number of U.S. attorneys who were also asking the same question. And since the letter came out in June, no one has been prevented from administering their state law. And in fact, one state that had been holding out used that letter as a means by which the governor felt comfortable enough, based on his experience working as a U.S. attorney, that they could proceed with their state law. So the federal government, or the U.S. attorney, has not relinquished any of their powers, and that's what this letter says. The letter also says earlier on the first page that pursuing these individuals is not a priority given their limited resources.
Representative Kupchick.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Through you, Mr. Speaker, while the letter says that that is not their first priority, and I believe that they're being accurate when they say that, they're saying very clearly in the letter that they will go after those who are breaking the federal law. So when we are going to be asking small pharmacies and people to grow marijuana, and even people who need the marijuana who are ill, to put themselves in a situation where they could lose everything they have, lose their property, be arrested, lose their license if they're a pharmacist. So while they're saying it's not a priority, they do clearly say that they will come after people. What will Connecticut do to protect those people? Through you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Fox.
Through you, Mr. Speaker, the individuals who are, or not the entities that are set out, whether it be the patient, the caregiver, the dispensaries, all of the entities that are set out are exempt from prosecution under state law, under the bill.
Representative Kupchick.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure. I'm really struggling. Even I've been listening to this debate for, I think, 6 or 7 hours. I don't want Connecticut to end up like California. We've all seen these stories on the news. There's a dispensary on every corner, and people are getting marijuana for, a hangnail. And it's really atrocious the way that state has allowed that law to take over. And so I don't want our state to be that way. I do want to give people the opportunity to have something that they need to make them feel better. I worry very seriously about Representative Becker's comments about us violating the Constitution. I think we should all be concerned about it. I'm concerned about it. So I'm going to still think, and I'm going to listen to more debate and hope that I'll be able to arrive at the decision that's in the best interest of the people of Connecticut.